you'll find out why. Well, good evening, America and South Florida. Welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, September 29th, and I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. Let's start by meeting tonight's host. First, let's welcome Todd Del May. Besides 25 years in the travel and hospitality industry, Todd is also president of the Hollywood LGBTQ Council and board chair of Pride Lines. He also serves as Hollywood Sustainability Advisory Committee. And today, now, we announce that Todd is currently running for the state representative House 100 seat. And when he wins, will be the first LGBTQ plus parent elected to the legislature. Good evening, Todd.
Good evening.
Next up, let's welcome Anchor Faye. What? She's a radio and television personality and has the popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and G together, an MC and hostess of many South Florida events, an animal advocate, and owner of Faye's Fur Family, and is the anchor of the travel news show Happening Out Travel. You can also see her on the Faye What Show Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening, everyone. Super happy to be here. I got my passport stamped on the way up from Miami, and I am happy to be in Hollywood.
That's right. But we did 2 COVID tests on the way across the border. Next, let's welcome anchor Tony Lima. He is now a resident like 2 blocks from here.
2 blocks, yes.
On Hollywood Boulevard. He is the CEO of Ariana Center in Translatina, Florida, one of the nation's most important trans rights and services organizations. He's a longtime South Florida LGBTQ activist and political advocate, as well as the anchor of the world's weekly trans talk show with trans hosts called Translation. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Al. I'm excited that you came to Hollywood so that I could be here with you tonight.
Absolutely, we are excited. And we also are welcoming Scott Galvin. Scott is a representative for the North Hollywood, the city of North Hollywood. I'm sorry, I blanked out there for a minute.
North Miami.
North Miami.
Yeah. You are loving Hollywood today, Al, really.
And directs Safe Schools. I watched you at Miami Beach Pride. You did a great job.
Thanks. We had a good time. Good time.
All right. Well, as I said, this is, and there we are. I'm reading a teleprompter out of order, which is what is going on, as you can.
We're live, people.
All right. Well, as I told you, this is the most popular live LGBTQ talk show in the world. And we have so much to talk about tonight on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
We are coming from Schwa.
It rolls off your tongue.
On Hollywood Boulevard here in Hollywood. And it's very exciting. Normally we start with a meme of the week, but we want to plug a little thing instead of meme of the week, why we're here in Hollywood. And Todd, I'm going to turn to you. Why don't you tell us the exciting news?
Well, the exciting news is that we are announcing the inaugural My Hollywood Pride in January.
Nice.
January 22nd, 2022. We are just elated. We've been working with the city, been working with everybody, really kind of trying to connect the LGBTQ community that it's here. And we thought one great way to do that is to do a Pride in downtown Hollywood.
And Saturday, January 22nd.
It's a Saturday, and we're going to do the whole day as a street fair, actually block off the 1900 block and have a big old street fair. We want to partner with a lot of local organizations just to make sure the entire community is coming in and enjoying.
So Todd, you dive in and prove once and for all this is the gayest place on planet Earth.
We are trying to.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
It's amazing the amount of Pride celebration that we have in the 3 counties here in South Florida. Well, congratulations. I cannot wait to come to Hollywood January 22nd. Put it on your calendar right now. All right, let's jump into, does anybody need a drink?
Yes.
Yes, they look
Let's do
thirsty.
this.
There
It's
wasn't a lot of enthusiasm.
It's
about
happy
that.
hour time.
I've got 2 hands.
Let me tell you, we're here in Hollywood, in Hollywood Boulevard, because Todd Del May is 50 years
All
old.
right.
Woo!
Wait, one more time. 50 years
50
old.
years
Have you
old.
guys
Ow.
reached to that
Thank
yet?
you.
Ow.
Not yet.
No, the
Thanks,
thing is,
sir.
Al is super jelly because you're 50 and you're hot as hell,
Thank you.
like borderline beautiful.
Oh,
And-
Borderline.
Borderline.
I can't say you're beautiful
She
with
was
Tony
also
here.
something nice.
I can't
That's
say
true.
you're beautiful with Tony here.
I do get
because then
upset,
he
it's
like
true.
will slash my tires.
It's true.
But you know, happy
might happen.
birthday.
Oh, you gay boy.
Happy birthday.
So we're here. We're going to celebrate all evening, and we're going to celebrate because Todd is running for House Seat 100,
Yes.
and big kickoff of your campaign tonight here in Hollywood.
All right.
And we're all here to support you and quite excited. And that's why I need a drink. No. All right, so let's play our game. It's a yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. And we invite you at home to play right along with us as I ask these hosts 4 questions. If they agree to the question, they take a sip of their drink. If they disagree, well, it's going to be a long night for me. All right, everybody ready to
Ready.
play
Think so.
I'd Swallow That? Here
Let's
we
do
go.
it.
Donald Trump is suing his niece, Mary, for releasing his tax returns. He also is suing the New York Times for harassing her to get the tax returns. So question number 1. I'd swallow that. I agree with Mary Trump about Donald Trump in response to the lawsuit. He is an effing loser. That's the exact quote. Do you agree with
Cheers to
Mary?
that.
Absolutely. Let's drink.
The Donald hates being called a loser more than anything else. So should we be saying it over and over?
You could just say he's
Loser?
Might as
fired.
well.
Yeah, or
He's fired.
he's fired.
Yeah.
Fired? That
Well, that
also
happened
works.
November 4th.
Yeah, well, you know.
He was fired November 4th. Tried to take it back January 6th, but
Yeah.
we do agree with Mary, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
overwhelming.
He's a loser. He won the presidency and then he killed 500,000 people. That makes you a loser in my book.
Yeah, COVID. All right. Let's move on. Scotland, the home of kilts, golf, and LGBTQ plus education? Well, question number 2. I'd swallow that. Scotland becomes the world's first country to require LGBTQ plus history in schools. I think it's going to change everything in LGBTQ acceptance.
Okay, sounds
Everybody
good.
agree with that?
Yeah.
Scott, you are a school expert. Tell us really quickly what you do in Miami-Dade County.
So, you asked me that question while I'm drinking a sip of liquor. But yeah, I work for Safe Schools South Florida, and we're talking with students all the time about LGBT issues.
What would your reaction? Scotland becomes the first country in the world to do this. What would you think if LGBTQ plus education was required in Miami-Dade County? What would that do?
It would make faculty meetings a lot more interesting. But yeah, obviously it would be a great thing. No, don't hold out too much hope, but you never know.
Wouldn't there be less bullying, less harassment of students that are LGBTQ plus if more people were educated on our history, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously wouldn't hurt. It would, since it's uncharted territory, who knows how students would react, who knows how parents would react. But at some point we got to cross that bridge.
And Todd, I know education is a big platform issue for you, running for the State House. What do you think about what Scotland's done?
Well, I think it's great. Actually, I really do. My son goes to a school where there are not a lot of same-sex parents, so it's something that comes up in kids' lives, right? And kids are coming out younger and younger. So I think the more we can talk about it and be open and have honest conversations, especially in our schools, very important.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, as representation matters, we talk about this all the time. How wonderful would it be if this LGBTQ history was shared and LGBTQ or queer youth could say, oh, like me. These were people like me. That's so important.
Yeah.
Well, many of us grew up not seeing those images,
At
not seeing
all.
those role
Absolutely.
models,
All of us
being
sitting here.
understood.
Yeah.
Being so alone. So I
Yeah,
think it was
and
great.
I want to repeat the soundbite that I put in at the top of the show. When Todd wins House 100, he will be the first person in the House in history that is a parent, a gay parent. So that's quite exciting. All right, let's move on. Niagara Falls has an amazing lighting system. On Thursday, it was lit up in magenta, lavender, and blue in honor of an LGBTQ celebration, Bisexual Visibility Day. Question 3. I'd swallow that. I was moved this week to see Niagara Falls' spectacular light up to honor that event.
Cheers to that.
Now, you can't see the picture. We're showing the picture, but it was really quite beautiful.
I love that. And Niagara Falls is super LGBTQ plus friendly. It's great to travel there. They're actually the first ones who had a rainbow bridge in the country. Rainbow bridge for LGBT, not for people who lost their pets. That's a whole other,
Yeah.
So, I think it's beautiful.
Anytime I go to Niagara Falls, it really makes me wet.
Wow, Scott.
Wow.
Wow, Scott.
There's a lot of water, right?
On that note,
Yeah,
I'll drink
we're
to
talking
that.
about just taking a
I know.
drink.
How
There
much
we
did
go.
you give him?
Well, see,
Yeah.
the thing is,
He's had his entire drink already.
yeah, you assumed I was sober when I sat down. That was the mistake.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
All right. You are now in the penalty box for 1 minute. All right. Well, like Madonna said, everybody goes to Hollywood. But our favorite Hollywood isn't California, but right here in the gayest place on planet Earth, South Florida. So question number 4. I'd swallow that. I am proud of the equality progress that the other Hollywood has made. The city started out in the low 40s in the HRC index and has improved significantly. We're proud of Hollywood.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I've been drinking the entire time that you were talking. I was drinking already because I just moved to Hollywood, as we were talking about at the top of the show, and it makes me
By
so
the way,
proud.
We don't know the exact index number yet,
but it's up there.
but it's up there. And
It
we're-
has grown a lot.
Yeah.
We started looking at it a few years ago. It was 49, went to 70, went to 83. And each year we come back, and I'm sure in November we'll come back and report an even better number
Yeah.
because we've been
Wait.
shining a light on it.
This news guy kind of smells news.
There'd be nifties.
We'll wait. I'll patiently
We'll wait.
wait.
It's like I'm getting texts every day now.
Exactly. Stay tuned, as they say. All right, next up, let's consider the best thing of the week. It's called cock.
What?
Now, that is a word in the dictionary. London's new West End show, and we're going to give away our drinks here because Scott clearly will drink too much.
I'm the only one that drank the whole thing.
Exactly. So a new West End show is about to launch about gay penis. Is Broadway next? And we're showing you some imaging of this new Broadway show about 2 gay men, and the show is called Cock. What do y'all think? Does this go too far? It stars one of the stars of Bridgerton.
Yeah, but how would it go too far just because of the name? I mean, I love the subject matter. The subject matter is about 2 gay men that are in a great relationship, and one kind of falls for a woman. All of a sudden meets a woman that is the woman of his dreams and is now questioning his sexuality. So of course, some people are up in arms because of it, but I mean, I think it could be true to life, right?
I'm curious, and I absolutely love it, and the play is going to be spectacular. If there was a West End play or a Broadway show that was called Breasts, would that bother you in any way?
Titties, yes, play it. I want to watch it. I want to be in it. I want to get seats in the front. Throw them at me. Yeah, of course.
That's how I feel about this cock show, yes.
Boobies.
But listen, the truth is, these kind of stories exist.
Yeah.
This happens in real life sometimes. So art imitates life. So I think this is fantastic. I would go see it as well.
It's funny because as I kind of apologize for us having this story in the show, straight men everywhere with women, this is part of our sexual identity experience, and we don't think twice about it in terms of what we see in television, in magazines, in movies. But when it comes to 2 men, and even perhaps our own LGBTQ community might be aghast. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, but
You're not aghast.
No, not at all. No, I celebrate it. I also think that maybe part of the storyline is that the man is discovering that he's bisexual. I don't know the notes of the show specifically, but given what Faye was describing and what we read before, maybe it's part of telling that bisexual story that's never told.
Yeah.
Bisexual people aren't necessarily accepted
Or-
by the rest of us, so it's time that these stories are shown and are celebrated as well.
Maybe that also helps ease the comfort level of telling this story.
Absolutely.
We fold a woman in and now it's okay.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
interesting. We're going to watch it closely. It's getting ready to launch in the West End.
Field trip.
A field trip, exactly.
What channel?
We're doing a remote here tonight in Hollywood. Let's go to London next. You wanna
Yes.
go to London?
Let's go.
That
Love
makes
it.
sense.
And by the way, Hollywood's going to have a Pride before London does. Oh, just saying. All right, now let's move on to our segment called What's on Your Mind. Each of our hosts are going to tell us in just 30 seconds. Oh boy, this is going to be tough for Todd. In just 30 seconds, what is important to them this week? Let's hear. But remember, it's got to be in just 30 seconds. Let's start with you, Todd.
Oh my goodness.
What's on your mind this week?
Isn't it fantastic that there's no bell? Before we start this, let me just say how happy I am that the bell did not make it to Hollywood. All right, Todd, I'm sorry, my friend.
Well, I have to do a shameless plug. I've been thinking about my birthday all week, turning 50, and then having a party downtown with all of my nearest and dearest. It has been
Which is tonight.
just tonight.
Yeah.
It's been a really fun week.
Yeah. I'm curious to your observation. Thank you for expressing what's on your mind. Is 50 just a number? We hear that over and over again. Now you're a gay man.
It is.
We're not straight men. We're gay men. So we know what that means different.
That includes you, Faye.
Yeah, that
It
does include you.
It does include me.
Wait, one more time. That does include you. Is 50 just a number?
You know, it must be. I remember when I was a kid, the first time I was aware of anybody being 50, they were my grandparents. And I don't feel like a grandparent. I mean, I have cousins my age who are grandparents, but I don't know. Some of it's a state of mind. Some of it's just, how much more you have left undone.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, interesting answer. I'm going to press you on that more another time. Faye, what's on your mind?
Faye, what? So, bourbon, Freya, Bordeaux, Pepe, Bondage, Chico, Paisley, and Bonham. You would think those were like stripper names, right? No, they're dog names. I take care of dogs all the time. What happened to Max, Spot, Dart? What happened to those kind of names? What happened to just nice, normal names? Why are you people calling dogs stripper names? That's what's on my mind.
Is it? That's the big issue on your mind.
There's a lot going on up there.
Yeah. What
Autumn is a stripper name?
What happened to the embracement of diversity and you can be what you are? What happened there?
That went out the door.
All right. And Tony, what's on your mind this week?
What's on my mind is the importance of LGBTQ people running for office, of course, because we're here to celebrate Todd and his birthday and his run. The important thing is that we should all, if you have any kind of inclination, do it. Be courageous, run for office. But then once we have wonderful candidates like Todd, we actually have to go out and vote for them, which is the second part of things. Like LGBTQ voting is awful at the moment, right? We have to support our people. We have to make sure that we are included, and we have to make sure that we have representatives like Todd at all levels of government. That's what's on my mind.
Excellent. And Scott Galvin, what's on your mind this week?
I'm still trying to figure out where the hell my drink went. I'm hoping that it'll come back around. I also know that after hearing that list of names for pets that Faye gave us, I'm not letting you dog sit. Yeah.
Wait, did we just learn that there's not much on Scott Galvin's mind? Is that what we just
To
learned?
His
be
drink is-
honest,
his
yeah,
drink is on his mind.
it's sort of like listening to crickets all the time in my head.
And he admits to it.
And it's like a vacuum, an open vacuum, and the air is just rushing through.
Scott is
Yeah.
a very popular anchor at Queer News Tonight. The next time you're at Queer News, oh child, we are going to roast you royally.
That's funny.
All right, well, next, let's catch up on the news from the world of entertainment. Despite the popularity of ballroom dancing in the gay community, there has been very little representation. That brings us to this week's Celebrity Hot Topic. History has been made this week as John Waite and Johannes Rabidi become the first all-male pairing on a show on the BBC in Britain called Strictly Come Dancing. Watch this.
When I saw it was a big sparkly cake, I thought, oh, come on, it's got to be Johannes. And when he popped out of it, I'm blown away. It means the world that we're doing this together.
It's my pleasure.
How tall are you?
I am.
Let's stand back to back.
Absolutely. I'm taller, right?
You're a bit taller.
Yeah.
You've got the higher hair than me. It's a massive honour, this. It really is.
Are you not excited?
It's all about the dancing for me. I'm going to make sure that you whip me into shape, young man, because I want to dance 12 hours a day. I want to have hips like Shakira.
Through. Ladies and gentlemen, my partner.
My partner, actually. And it's all mine. I'm so happy.
I am delighted and beyond. Whatever you do, keep dancing.
All right. Well, the dancing number itself is locked down so tightly they would put me in prison if I showed it to you. But they had a spectacular performance. What if this came to first off, Strictly Come Dancing? Make your own jokes. Let's sit a moment.
You had me at that.
Yeah. Okay. What if this show came? It's kind of like Dancing with the Stars.
Except sexy.
Yeah, sexy, exactly. We love JoJo, but it's not this. I
Well,
mean,
we saw JoJo do the first same-sex dance for us here in the States, right? And it was happy, ha ha ha, we're two girls dancing, yay! Their dance, I saw it was sexually driven, it was hot. I wanted to watch them have sex, I wanted to put them on Pornhub. I wanted to start an OnlyFans page for them. I wanted that from these two boys.
child, are you a gay man?
Yes.
Now you know
We've known this. We've known this.
I just get to wear the shoes and you guys don't.
That's true.
About it.
I guess we could wear the shoes if we wanted to.
I
We could.
have the shoes.
You do have the shoes.
do
That's
have
true.
the shoes.
But I wanted to say what changes is that these are men. Aside from the sexuality of it all, they're two men. That's not something that we're going to see anytime soon here in the States. You're right about JoJo. I was so excited with Dancing with the Stars to see JoJo Siwa do her thing with another woman, and I was sorely disappointed. So kudos to these guys. Kudos to the show in Great Britain. I want to watch. Let's do this.
What's interesting to me is I imagine when I watch this, and I watched this show.
What were you imagining?
Of course. And wait. You took that more than the other. Oh, wait. No, you didn't take that.
I had my whole drink.
Right. When I watched it, I thought, my gosh, if this was on ABC,
Forget it.
what would their reaction be in Alabama? And then I thought to myself, that would be great because this helps tear down barriers
Absolutely.
and educate people. And it smashes you right in the face, but it tears down barriers, don't y'all think?
Yeah, or they'd be thrown on logo and then nobody'd see it.
Yeah, and nobody would see it. Yeah. That
Shade.
Was it
Yeah.
was shady.
Fayan, is it because we're gay men that we're so excited about seeing two men dance in this sort of sexy way? Because I don't feel the same way about two women dancing like this.
But I just want to cut in and say there's 4 gay men on the panel tonight. None of us at 18 years old could even possibly imagine that. moment.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
Not possible,
That's true.
especially at 50. My God.
Yeah, it's really old.
50.
Yeah.
It's so good that I can make that joke. So good.
So good.
All right, let's move on. Up next, if we were standing around the LGBTQ water cooler, this is what we would be talking about this week. We refer to it as the hot topic of the week. The LGBTQ plus community has been fighting for equal rights in the U.S. for a century. As public support of our cause grows, many are taking the fight for equality from the streets to public office. Tonight's hot topic, of course, is more LGBTQ are running for office than ever in history. We have more than 1,000 elected officials around the country, and we want more. What does it mean for America for LGBT to run for office? We have 2. We have an equality advocate. We have a female equality advocate. What does the issue of election and running for election mean to America on behalf of the LGBTQ?
Yeah, there's not enough. Obviously, even with 1,000, if you doubled that, tripled that, it's still
What did you say the
percentage-wise.
percentage was? You were on Queer News once
It's
and said
0.1 or something like that. Like it's not even 1% of the overall population. They need to.
I think you mentioned 1,000
1,000
known
approximately.
electeds across the country. We'd have
Right,
to be at
that's not-
something like 14,000.
Yeah.
I think
like
21,000
Yeah,
is what we would have to do.
significantly more.
Yeah.
So but I am glad that people are talking about getting more candidates to run. I know that every time I'm running for office, I'm out working the streets, and
Just stop
you
there.
are.
Just
I
stop
bet you
there.
are.
How you get
I
elected.
knock
I know
on
which street
doors.
you've been on.
Yeah,
Oh, Lord.
ready to
Yeah.
help him, and then I realized, no, he meant to throw that one
He
out
did.
there.
He did.
Scott, curious because this is the first time you're running
Yeah.
for public office. For you, any advice that you would give, Todd, from your experience of what you faced?
I don't
How
know
many
the
times have you been elected?
6.
6 times.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Speaking of
and
50,
the longest elected in Florida, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the longest
So-
elected in
longest elected.
in Florida. Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
awesome.
It's been a long time,
Congratulations.
long time. Yeah.
Wait, let's let that soundbite digest. A long.
I know. People say my term in office is very short.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah.
And any advice for Todd?
You know, you just got to get out there and be genuine. Don't try. People can see right through any game you're trying to put on, any face that you're trying to put on. You just have to be genuine and don't worry about where the votes are going to go. You want them to go to you, but if you try to put forward some sort of persona, you'll spend too much time and energy trying to keep up with that persona, which will take away, from what you want to do. And running for office and being in office, totally separate animals.
Yeah. Right. Tony, I'm curious from your seat. You work as the ED at Ariana Center now for the trans community, but you have long years in
I helped
quality,
elect a lot of LGBTQ folks
quality
and allies.
advocacy.
Yes.
Are you still optimistic that we're moving in the right direction, or do you get discouraged sometimes that we're not moving at the speed we should?
I think that's it. For me, I think we need to be moving at a faster speed to be able to anticipate all the issues that are coming our way, especially now with the trans community specifically being used as the major political wedge issue in our country. The other thing that bothers me, and I mentioned it before and what was on my mind, like more of us have to go out and vote. We also need to help elect more Black and brown folks, more trans folks, more women. Like the need for diversity is uncanny at the moment. We need to be able to do this together. So it's important if you have the courage and the propensity to want to run for public office, do it. Do it. I applaud Todd from the beginning. I was there at the show where you announced, which is so exciting because we go way back. We've worked together, marriage equality specifically, but we need more Todds in this world and in our country and at every level. Right at the municipal level, very important. All politics are local in the end. At the state level, at the congressional level, it's important that we start to put our sights on potentially, if you have the inkling, run for office and represent your communities.
Yeah. Well said. Todd, I'm going to give you the last word. What do you think about LGBT candidates and why it's important?
It seems every cycle we have a handful. There are a handful that are running this year, but not enough of them are getting elected. Some of that, yes, is getting out to vote. Some of that is just recognizing we need to support these LGBTQ candidates no matter where they are, and not just worry about whether or not they're from our district, right? Or we're going to be able to vote for them. We need to be able to get support from across the entire community.
Todd, I want to give you the opportunity. You're running for House Seat 100. What can we do? An LGBTQ community, any listener, what can we do for you?
Give money.
Give money, right? It's it's an unfortunate thing, but a lot of it comes back to your money as a demonstration of your support.
Yeah.
And so far, I've been very fortunate. I was the first and only candidate to come out with $50,000 in the first month. But it gets harder every month after that. These election cycles are longer and longer. I still have 11 months till the primary. So yeah, you just need the support.
It's overwhelming, isn't it?
Wow. It is.
The time, space, and the amount of money that has to be raised. Tell us how we do that. How do we reach out to you online? Where do you want us to go?
DelmayForFlorida.com is the best way online. Find us on Facebook. Everything is there. And really connect.
You've made it super easy.
I have.
To get on. Yeah, absolutely. And support. Support our LGBT candidates, and two of them are sitting right here in front of you with advocates sitting around them saying, it's really, really important. All right, well, that's it, South Florida. Another week with you and the world's first and most popular LGBTQ talk show in the world. Last week, more than 50,000 of you watched us in YouTube alone. Thank you very much for that. Before we sign off, let's hear from our host for one final good night. And a good night from Todd Delmay.
Good night. Was that it?
That is the shortest political speech
you
we will
told them
ever
what to
hear.
say.
But
Boy,
thank you.
cut out for politics. Just say what they tell you.
That's it. And Faye, what?
Good night. I'm not going to follow that thing. I think that's Todd. It's his birthday. It's his day.
That's right. We're waiting for more drinks. Scott's saying end the show. So and Tony Lima.
Good night. Give Todd Delmay money. And also watch Translation next week.
Yeah,
We're on next week again.
On next week. And Scott Galvin.
I am looking for my drink still.
And say good night.
Yeah.
gonna go
Good night,
Gracie.
Good night, good night,
All right,
Gracie. That's
for the
right.
old
There you
folks,
go.
yes.
All right, so is what you watched tonight important to you? You sat right here at this abbreviated LGBTQ kitchen table, right along with us here in Hollywood, the gayest place on planet Earth, to announce the new Hollywood Pride, January 22nd. We are here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. live. And don't forget, Queer News Tonight is daily at 8 p.m. I anchor with all of these people, Hotspots Magazine and WMEG events. And remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Good night.